Okay, this is lesson number 3-8, part 2. We're going to go ahead and finish up. We have problems 7, 8, 9, and 10 to discuss. Okay, here's number 7. Now I'm going to give you a minute to think about what you would multiply by. Which equation would you multiply, and what would you multiply it by? Okay, hopefully you saw that we have a negative 1y in the first equation and a positive 2y in the second equation. So it certainly would be easiest for us to just multiply the top by a 2. So 2 times 5x is 10x. 2 times, then we have minus, then 2 times y is 2y. Then we have 2 times negative 15, which is negative 30. The number one mistake people will make is they'll multiply the left-hand side by 2, but they'll forget to multiply the right-hand side by 2 as well. Make sure you multiply both sides by that number. Okay, then we're just going to write the bottom again. So we have 4x plus 2y equals 2. Okay, now we're going to add them together. I have 10x plus 4x, which is 14x. Negative 2y plus 2y is 0. Equals negative 30 plus 2 is negative 28. Divide both sides by 14. And x equals a negative 2. So we know now that the x value of our ordered pair is negative 2. Okay, now we need to find our y values. Let's go ahead and plug x or negative 2 back in for x. Go ahead and do it to the top one. So I have, and you can certainly choose to do whichever one you want. I'm just going to do the top one. So 5 times negative 2 subtract y equals negative 15. 5 times negative 2 is negative 10. Subtract y equals negative 15. I'm going to go ahead and add 10 to both sides. So negative y equals negative 5. Divide both sides by negative 1. And y equals a positive 5. So the point these two have in common is negative 2, 5. That's the solution to this system of equations. If I was to graph those two equations, that's the point where they would cross. Okay, here's number 8. Now think about what you would multiply this one by. And this one's a little trickier if you haven't noticed by now. What would you multiply by? Well, there's lots of options for this one. And we're going to talk about a couple of different ones. So first of all, I have a 5x on the top and a 2x on the bottom. Now, I could multiply the top by 1/2. Nope, that wouldn't even work. I could multiply the top by or divide the top by 2.5, that would give me 2, I think. But I really don't want to deal with decimals or fractions or any of those things, so I'm going to think of an easier way to make our x's the same. Well, if I have a 5x and a 2x, it'd be really nice if on the top, up here, I had a 10x, and down here, I would have a negative 10x. So what I can do is I can multiply the top. Let me go ahead and erase that. I can multiply the top by a positive 2, and multiply the bottom by a negative 5. On the top, that would give me 2 times 5x is 10x, minus 2 times 3y is 6y, equals 2 times 6 is 12. For the bottom, I would get a negative 5 times 2x, which is a negative 10x. And then I'd have a negative times a negative, which would be a positive, and then 5 times 5 is 25y, equals a negative 5 times 10 is a negative 50. Now, if I was to add these together, my x's would eliminate. So I have a 10x plus a negative 10x, which is 0. A negative 6y plus 25y, well, that's a 19y, equals 12 plus a negative 50 is a negative 38. Divide both sides by 19, and I get y equals negative 2. So I know in my ordered pair that my y value would be negative 2. Then I have to take negative 2 and plug it back in. So I'm going to go ahead and go to the next page. So I remember that my y value is negative 2. So I'm going to go ahead and plug it back into the top. So I have 5x minus 3 times y, which is negative 2, equals 6. So 5x plus 6 equals 6. Subtract 6 from both sides. That does not look like a subtract. That really is, I promise. Let's see here. Subtract 6. There we go. And now we get 5x equals 0. Divide both sides by 5. And x equals 0. So the point these two have in common is 0, negative 2. Okay, we're going to go ahead and go back. And let's see, what can we multiply this by to eliminate the y's? Well, I have a negative 3y and a negative 5y. If I multiplied the top by a positive 5, that would give me a negative 15y. And if I multiply the bottom by a negative 3, that would give me a positive 15y. That way my y's would eliminate this time. So let's try that one instead. So 5 times 5x is 25x minus 5 times 3 is 15y equals 5 times 6, which is 30. Then we have a negative 3 times 2x, which is 6x. Negative 3 times a negative 5 is a positive 15y equals a negative 3 times 10 is a negative 30. Okay, we're going to go ahead and add those together. So I get 25x plus plus a negative 6x is 19x. Negative 15y plus 15y is 0 equals 0. So I divide both sides by 19 and x equals 0, which is the same answer we got before. So there's multiple ways to do all of these problems. There's different things you can multiply by. The key thing is that you multiply the entire top by that number, okay, and you multiply by a number that, when you add together, is going to eliminate one of the variables. Okay, on our last page, number 9, we have that Cal bought 2 burritos and 1 salad for $20.57. Jacob bought 3 burritos and 3 salads for $36.42. Use a system of equations to find the price of 1 burrito and 1 salad. So, first of all, our unknowns. We're trying to find the price of 1 burrito and the price of 1 salad. I'm going to go ahead and use x and y for these. So when I define my variable, I'm going to say that x is the cost of 1 salad. I'm going to go ahead and put a dollar sign there so we know we're dealing with money. And y is the cost of, you know what? We go burritos then salads. So I'm going to go backwards here. So this is going to be the cost of a burrito. And then this is going to be the cost of 1 salad. So x is going to be the cost of 1 burrito, y is going to be the cost of 1 salad. Now we want to write our system of equations. So I have 2 burritos and 1 salad, and that equals $20.57. So I have 2 burritos plus 1 salad equals $20.57. Now Jacob, he has 3 burritos and 3 salads. That 3 look better there. And that equals $36.42. So there's our system. We want to use elimination to solve this. If it said to use substitution, I would just subtract 2x from both sides for our first equation. But it says to use elimination, so as I'm looking at this, I have a positive 1y in the first equation and a positive 3y in the second equation. It would be very convenient if I had a negative 3y in that first equation. So I'm going to go ahead and multiply the top by a negative 3. So I have a negative 3 times 2x, which is a negative 6x, minus 3y equals 20.57 times a negative 3 is negative 61.71. So $61.71. Now I just write the second one again. So I have 3x plus 3y equals 36.42. Okay, I'm going to run out of room here, so I'm going to go to the next slide here and write that again. So I have negative 6x minus 3y equals negative 61.71. Then I have 3x plus 3y equals 36.42. And you know you can use whatever variable you want here, as long as you define it. Okay, we have negative 6x plus 3x, which is a negative 3x. Negative 3y plus 3y is 0 equals negative 61.71 plus 36.42 is a negative 25.29. Now we're going to divide both sides by a negative 3. So x equals, this is going to be $8.43. So the price of one burrito is $8.43. Now we need to find the price of a salad. So I'm going to go ahead and just plug that back into the top one. So I have 2 times 8.43 plus y equals 20.57. 2 times 8.43 is 16.86 plus y equals 20.57. So I'm going to subtract 16.86 from both sides. Y equals, and this is $3.71. Okay, so, hold on. There we go. The price of one burrito is $8.43, and the price of one salad, $3.71. How do I know if that's true? Well, I'd put in my calculator 2 times 8.43 plus 3.71 and see if it equals $20.57. Then I would do 3 times 8.43 plus 3 times 3.71 and see if that equals $36.42. So you can always check your answer to see if you got the right answers there. Okay, here's number 10. The sum of two numbers is negative 8. Ignore that line right there in front of the negative. The cursor was there when I took the screenshot. I forgot to move it. But that's just the cursor symbol from my laptop screen. And then 4 times the first number plus the second number is negative 17. So find the two numbers. So first of all, we want to find our variables. So I'm going to go ahead and say that x is my first number. And y equals the second number. Now we want to write our system of equations. So I have the sum of two numbers is negative 8. So if I just add my two numbers together, the word sum means add. So if I just have the first number plus the second number and add them together, that equals negative 8. Then we have 4 times the first number, so 4 times x, plus the second number, so plus y, equals negative 17. We want to solve this using elimination. So think about what you would multiply and by what to eliminate which variable. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and multiply the top by a negative 1. That gives me a negative x minus y equals a positive 8. Then I just write my second equation. 4x plus y equals negative 17. That way when I add these together, my y's are going to eliminate. I'm going to go ahead and write that again. Negative x minus y equals a positive 8. Then 4x plus y equals a negative 17. Now we're going to add them together. I have a negative x plus 4x, which is 3x. I have a negative y plus y, which is 0, equals 8 plus a negative 19, 8 plus a negative 17 is a negative 9. I'm going to divide both sides by 3 to get x by itself, and x equals negative 3. So I know that x value in my ordered pair is negative 3. Actually, we're not even doing an ordered pair because it's just first and second number, so I'm going to erase that. So I know that the first number is negative 3. Okay, I'm going to go ahead now and plug that back in for my first equation and solve for y. So I have negative 3 plus y equals negative 8. Now I'm going to add 3 to both sides. Y equals negative 5. So I know my second number equals negative 5. Okay, that's lesson number 3-8. If you need to, you're welcome to go back and watch this video again on the website if you need any more help. And you'll see there's a link, a YouTube video on the bottom there. You can also click on that YouTube video and watch that lesson as well to see if that helps you as well with elimination.